knows that, and your politicians know that, and you know why? Because immigrants vote for a certain political party, right? Come on, you can't ignore that. Vote.
What you tell them is lying about the jobs issue. If you want to work in the jobs issue,
They want the votes. They get the vote down in a political party. Now, I have a good question for Maria. I caught up on, you said that Classic Pickle is still responsible for the brownfield. Does that mean they still own the property?
Right now, Pinnacle merged with Classic, oh, gosh, 9 years ago, something like that, 7 to 9 years ago. They are still, as far as we know, checked out weeks ago, the owners of that property.
So the papers have not been signed for allocation to purchase it? Okay.
They are contingent upon a remediation agreement. And that's a very good point, because I'll tell you what, locally, if we can beat this locally, the plant cannot go there.
Good.
If they cannot get potentially hazardous zoning, they can't build there.
I'm still not done. Okay, so that property is still potentially for sale. It
Yes.
hasn't been purchased.
Yes.
Perhaps we could get a group of citizens together that have a little money in the bank, maybe a couple bucks or whatever. And do you know what the purchase price would be?
They're purchasing it for, get ready, you're gonna get mad. It's a $50 million site, they're purchasing it for $5 million.
That's not, like
I
you say,
think we
it's
could
smart.
purchase it then. For $50,000 or something,
As far as
whatever,
the
get it out of your hands.
as far as the company's not this is all been private negotiations. Through Delaware Economics. And this is just been done between Delaware and the government.
Well, it should be,
There was no for
no
sale
one
sign.
at the table, really.
It's something that they put in under, they call it a brownfield marketplace. So there are a lot of sites in Delaware and in other states as well, all the states do this program. And what they try to do is sites that are abandoned, underutilized, contaminated, they want somebody to go in there rather than them sitting idle. Good idea. I don't disagree with that idea. I do disagree with the public funding their own demise, and I do disagree with a $1 billion company walking away and Genrec and the governor allowing them to walk away. Right now, everybody should be writing letters to the editor and saying, let them clean up their own mess. Delaware residents don't want to pay for it.
I do have a comment. Alan Harim expected to be in there in 2014 November processing chickens. They have made a comment that they are projecting now 2016, if not later. So what we are doing is making an impact.
Oh, if I may make a brief comment. Yes, the central political problem is that Delaware has been, and still is, and will continue to be unless changes are made. The state will be dominated by special interest groups. What we need is initiative, referendum, and recall. And if we had those key fundamental powers as citizens, we could change the course of our government in a more positive manner.
Do you know if Harim and if they put money into this already?
There is public money that goes into testing the site. It is $200,000 of public money that goes in. I had a phone call with Mr. McGuigan in EPA Region 3 last week, and they have not gone forward with applying for any more permits yet. My thinking is, if I'm an industry, I am not going to put out money while all these appeals are going on if there is a chance that I can't get it back. And before we bring up John, I want to I want to talk a little bit about farming, because I do a lot of work with farmers. I don't want anyone to think that I'm against any contract farmers. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm a farmer's best friend. I fought for fairer rules for them, against monopolistic practices. I have friends that are contract farmers, and that's one of my problems with this industry too, is the way that they treat the farmers with contractors. It's not a very fair deal. They have to mortgage their properties in order to build these buildings. They own the mortality and the waste. The companies own the live waste. They send them to the banks repeatedly for upgrades if they want to keep contracts. I've had farmers where, I don't know how many people realize, it all ties together from, the eggs all the way up to the processing plants. I've known farmers where children's fried processing plants have gone out of business. And a friend of mine was a farmer where he had to go to the bank and get $450,000 upgrade in order to keep his contract. The week after he did it, they shut down the processing plant. And he blew his head off. So don't let anybody tell you I'm against the small farmers, because the small farmers have no better advocate than me. You want to do something, Governor Markell? Start getting these farms to grow their own product so that they make 100% of their profit, and they're not a slave to an industry.
Well, way back when Jack Markell was still elected, I returned out talking about his age, and I suggested creative zoning that would allow farmers to take up to 25% or 20% of their land for related agricultural industries.
Like speaker.
Walk
up to it, the rest of your face, and then go by the
That's something
podium.
we need to look at.
Absolutely.
By the podium?
Our
Yeah,
next
straight by the
speaker
podium.
is, I have so much respect for this man. This is probably the smartest man that I've ever met.